It's a great day for sending flowers by telephone. Every day, every place. What a way for conquering space. Zoom! It's a great day for sending flowers by telephone. Over all those miles, the telephone embraces. Why, it's a way for putting smiles on people's faces. Hello, one. Hello, all. Making money, making a call. It's a great day for sending flowers by telephone. From the point of view of the customer, and customers are what we are. It's the safest way for the customer, and the quickest way by far.
From the point of view of the florist, and flowers are what we sell. It's the easy way for the florist, and the money-making way as well.
If you want to say what diamonds and a yacht can't, you can save the day by phoning her a pot plant. Why be wrong? Why be late? Use the way that's right up to date. It's a great day for sending flowers by telephone.
Send an azalea to Australia. Send a gardenia to Armenia. Send a gladiola out to Iowa.
And the ballpark to Kalamazoo. Make it now. Make it soon. Any morning, evening, or noon. It's a great day for sending flowers by telephone. In minutes, goodness knows you have it in your power to phone a Herbert Hoover Rose to maybe Eisenhower. Cha-cha-cha! Hello, friend. Hello, world. Ring the bells with banners unfurled. It's a great day for sending flowers. The easy way with a personal touch. The way you're finding ever so much when you're sending flowers by
Oh, Tommy Jackson, if I never see you again, it'll be too soon.
But Florabelle.
Florabelle? Florabelle! Say, Tommy, wasn't that Florabelle running out of here? I never saw... Tommy, what's wrong?
What isn't wrong, Mr. Harper? Gee, you'd think I had kicked her mother or something.
Oh, you wouldn't do a thing like that. Besides, her mother's twice as big as you. Now, what happened?
She says I hung up on her.
Marilyn, will you tell me something? Why is it you dolls like to torture us guys so?
I don't know, Mr. Harper. Just want to make sure you're paying attention, I guess.
Could be. But now, young lady, I think it's high time that you and I paid a little more attention to the flower business. Let's give the wheel a whirl. See what's in the cards for today. This is one of the best ways I know to get from Mother's Day to Christmas and not go broke. Mrs. Johnson's mother's birthday. You know, if I didn't have a card on her, I might have missed the sale. That Mrs. Johnson, oh, how I hate to call her. With her imaginary ailments, she can keep you on the phone all day. Boy, can she talk. I guess that the secret is to keep from asking her any leading questions. Keep it strictly business. Hello, Mrs. Johnson. This is Joe Harper, the florist. Yes, fine, thanks. And how are you? Oh? Shooting pains? Spots before your eyes? Hot flashes? Well, I'm glad you're better. Now, what I'm calling about, Mrs. Johnson, is your mother's birthday, yes? And yes. Well, how is she? Oh?
Harper Flowers. Oh, hi, Mrs. Hull. How are you? Uh-huh. Well, we could send you out a beautiful assortment. Around $5? Fine. They look wonderful at your party. Yes, I can see they're sent out this morning. Oh, and by the way, Mrs. Hull, is there anyone out of town you'd like to send flowers to? They did? Well, isn't that nice? Uh-huh. Well, of course, you'll want to send flowers right away. Yes, well, I'll tell you what. I'll call you back in about an hour when you have the address. And then I'll place the order for you by telephone. All right. Bye now.
Yes, Mrs. Johnson. I'll telephone the order out right away. Certainly they'll be there by this afternoon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, Mr. Harper, and how is Mrs. Johnson?
Mrs. Johnson and her mother were never better. They're both sick. By the way, Marilyn, I want to compliment you on the way you took care of Mrs. Hull. Is she going to give you an out-of-town order?
Yes, she's getting the address, and I'm calling her right back.
Good girl. But next time, remember how easy it can be to upgrade an order. She wanted to spend $5, but if you told her how much more she could get for $7.50, I'll bet you she'd have taken you up on it.
Golly, Mr. Harper, I forgot all about it.
That's all right, Marilyn. We all forget. Just remember that upgrading and asking about out-of-town orders can do an awful lot to put our volume right up there in the big time.
Big time. Gee, I bet you're the only florist in the country who was ever in vaudeville.
Could be. Vaudeville's loss was the florist's gain. Uh-oh, a customer.
If you want me, Mr. Harper, just buzz.
Good morning, sir. With a chicken like that in the shop, why'd I have to draw an old rooster like you? Well, that's the way the check bounces. The name is Bishop. Fred Bishop.
I'm Joe Harper, Mr. Bishop.
Well, I'm a traveling salesman.
Oh, well, I know about the guy that was over in the place.
I know all the jokes. So what's new?
In flowers, everything. What's the occasion?
Well, I've got a customer in this fair city who had me out to dinner last night, and I'd like to say thanks. I'd like to send his wife a little token of my esteem, and I'm willing to go as high as $10. Yes, sir. The last of the big-time spenders.
Mr. Bishop, we made up a very impressive arrangement this morning that I think will be just perfect for you. It's only $12.50, but it looks much more expensive.
Salesmanship. It gets me right here.
Oh, Marilyn, will you bring in that new arrangement, the one with the red and white roses? Yes, thank you. By the way, Mr. Bishop, how did you happen to choose our shop?
Oh, I looked it up in the yellow pages. I saw your ad. I don't know how people got along before someone invented those yellow pages. I was just around the corner from your shop, so I came over.
You know, you'd be surprised how much of our business comes in from that ad. We ran a check on it one time. The telephone company assigned me a special number. They called it a key number. And we put the number in the ad, no place else, just the ad, so that we could count the number of calls that came in. Would you believe it? I found out that 1/3 of all my business came in from that ad. And every once in a while, Mr. Bishop, I hear a florist say that he doesn't think an ad in the yellow pages means very much. But I proved to myself that it does.
Is this the one you wanted, Mr. Harper?
Yes, that's it, Marilyn. Thank you. Well, Mr. Bishop, how do you like the arrangement?
Arrangement, yes, very good.
Flowers.
Oh, you mean the flowers. Yeah, it's the greatest arrangement since Rhapsody in Blue. I'll take it.
I'll answer the phone in the workroom, Mr. Harper.
Telephone in the workroom? You seem to have telephones all over the place. Do you own stock in the telephone company?
Not at all, Mr. Bishop. You see, I do 90% of all my business by telephone. That's why I have 2 phones here in the front of the shop and an extension in the workroom. In order to take care of customers during busy periods, you have to have enough lines and telephones. Then I have this special line for out-of-town orders.
Out-of-town orders?
Yes. See that sign? We phone flowers anywhere.
Anywhere?
Anywhere. I have thousands of partners on the other end of that line. Maybe I can show you what I mean. Is there somebody out of town that you know of having a birthday or an anniversary?
Birthday? No, don't think so. But why do you use the telephone?
Because it's better business to use the telephone. It's quicker, easier, more accurate, and it almost always costs you less. Are you sure there's nobody you know of having a birthday or an anniversary?
You know, it's funny you should ask that. Say, what is today? The 15th?
No, it's the 16th. Does that mean something to you?
16th, the 16th. You know, I have a hunch about the 16th. It sort of rings a bell.
Well, if it did ring a bell and you wanted to send some flowers out of town, I'd place the order right here in the shop. I'd get the other florist on the line, and if he didn't have what you wanted, we could work out a substitution right here and now. You see, Mr. Bishop, when I use the telephone, it's like looking into the other guy's refrigerator. Now, you can't do that any other way, can you?
The subject never came up.
And in the second place, when you left the shop, you'd know that the order had been confirmed. Now, wouldn't that make you feel good?
You know, I'd feel good if I could remember whose birthday or anniversary this is.
What's more, suppose the flowers had to be there in an hour or even less. There's no extra charge for special instructions. You've got the other florist on the line, so you explain matters and get him to cooperate. And by using the phone, Mr. Bishop, if either one of us makes an error, we correct it right on the spot.
No, it's not Aunt Martha's birthday. And my sister Helen's only been married 3 months. Not her anniversary.
But what I'm saying, Mr. Bishop, is suppose it was. What kind of a message would you want to send her? Would you want to say, "Dear Helen, happy anniversary, love, brother"? Or would you want to say something like this? "My dearest Helen, happy anniversary. May 1,000 blessings descend upon the heads of you and your wonderful husband, what's his name. I wish you good luck, good health, good cheer, prosperity, and happiness in your future lives together. This comes to you with all the love and admiration in the world from your adoring brother who couldn't have said all this unless the flowers had been sent by telephone. Try sending that any other way."
Try sending that by telephone.
Why not? Within 3 minutes, I can exchange between 300 and 500 words with the florist at the other end of the line. That's service. And the telephone is the personal way, the friendly way to handle a customer's order. Mr. Bishop, birthday or an anniversary?
No, not yet. Keep talking.
What's more, the price is right. All these calls are station to station. And you'd be surprised at how much less it costs than you expect. I guess, after all, Mr. Bishop, the secret of this is to use the telephone to its fullest extent. Local service, sufficient lines, yellow pages advertising, long distance,
Oh!
and
Oh!
What is it? What's the matter?
I just remembered whose anniversary this is.
Whose?
It's mine, that's whose. Look, we've got to do something. We got to do something fast. Harper, if you knew my wife, you'd... Oh, I can see her now. I can just see her now. It scares me.
Yeah, it scares me too, Mr. Bishop. Now, let's not lose our heads. Where do you live?
Middletown.
All right. What do you want to send her?
Well, I don't know.
Well, hurry up and make up your mind.
Snapdragons. Oh, no. She might take that too personally.
How about camellias?
Camellias, that's great. $5 worth of camellias.
$7 bouquet makes twice the showing.
7? Oh, all right, 7. And the other was $12.50. Yes, that's $19.50. Here's 20.
And 50 cents for the station-to-station call to Middletown, making it 20 even. Thank you.
All right, make the call.
All right. Now, Mrs. Fred Bishop. Uh-huh. What's her address?
2602 Lancaster Lane.
2602 Lancaster Lane.
But what if it's too late?
Now, don't get excited. I'll make the call to Middletown. Let me see now. Middletown. Here we are. Albert Jones Flowers. Hybrid 2 1111. You better hurry up and write the message down.
Well, what'll I write?
Well, write anything. Just tell her what you really think of her.
Are you kidding? She'd kill me.
Write it down. Hello, operator. I'd like to call Middletown. Hybrid 2 1111. My number is Kumquat 1 2222.
Morning, Jones Flowers. Al Jones speaking.
Good morning, Mr. Jones. This is Joe Harper of Harper's Flowers in Belleville. I'd like to give you an order. Do you have a pencil?
Sure do.
He has a pencil.
Go right ahead.
All right, my number is 91-37.
91-37.
Right. Now, the order is for Mrs. Fred Bishop, B-I-S-H-O-P.
Mrs. Fred Bishop,
2602 Lancaster Lane.
2602 Lancaster Lane.
Yes, it's from her husband, Mr. Bishop, for their anniversary. He'd like to send her some cams.
I'm not sure we have enough cams left, but I do have some beautiful carnations. Or I have some very nice glads.
Glads?
Glads.
Glads it is, then. A nice arrangement for $7.50. That's 750. And there's a message goes with that, too. May I have the message? How could I forget love, Fred?
No. That's how could I forget love Fred.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Bishop. I made a mistake, Al. It's how could I forget love, Fred?
I've got it.
Now, will you get that right out, Al?
Right away. Say, how's the weather down there?
Never better. How's yours?
Any day starts out right when I get an out-of-town order by phone. You know, Joe, I often get orders for your town. I'll be sure to call you.
Well, that goes for me, too. Thanks and goodbye, Al.
So long, Joe. Thank you. And tell Mr. Bishop I'll make his wife proud of him.
Good boy. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, Mr. Bishop, it's all done. It'll be there quicker than 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
You saved my life, Harper. I'm recommending you for a medal for flowers above and beyond the call of duty.
Oh, it's nothing.
You know, I say some pretty rough things about the old gal, but I guess I'm pretty fond of her after all. I can just see her when she opens up that box of flowers.
How could I forget? Love, Fred. Does he love me? Yes, he loves me truly. Even love me when we're far apart. Though sometimes he gets a bit unruly. I know that I'm the one who holds his heart. Let him always look at other girls as well. There is something just for me that flowers tell. Does he love me? Yes, he loves me truly. He even loves me when we're far apart. Happy though I'm all alone, thankful for the telephone, telling me I hold his Does he love me? Yes, he loves me truly. He even loves me when we're far apart. Happy though I'm all alone, thankful for the telephone, telling me I hold Hello, Harper Flowers. Hello? Hello? Gee, Mr. Harper, I think they hung up.
Well, I sure hope we didn't lose a sale because we didn't answer the phone on time.
Well, you think they'd wait just a minute before hanging up?
Maybe so, Marilyn, but remember that the time always seems a lot longer on the other end of the line. That's why I had 2 lines put in the store, so that people who kept calling wouldn't get a busy signal. But letting it just ring and ring, well, that's even worse. And you know, Marilyn, whoever it was that called might be calling another florist right this minute.
You're right, Mr. Harper. I'm awfully sorry.
That's all right, Marilyn. We all have to learn, and it took me a lot of time to learn all I could about how to use the telephone for profit. Anybody can do it. For instance, I made a new friend and a partner today, Al Jones of Middletown, simply by placing a phone call. Just one call, and it seemed like he and I had been in business together for years. You know, Marilyn, there's only one way that could happen across all those miles.
I know, Mr. Harper. By telephone.
He's a florist in Belleville, 100 miles away.
He's the florist in Middletown. We met one happy day. We were perfect strangers till we used our telephones. Now we're perfect partners. We're Joe Harper and Al Jones. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, but we're perfect partners now. And we're glad to tell you how, me and my pal. I didn't know him, but then when we met, by the fastest method known, because we use the friendly phone, we're Joe and Al. Through the magic of the dial, after giving it a trial, you can see there's no denial, strangers end up friends. You're working alone, but then when you phone, you are partners just like us. And you'll have dollars to discuss, you and your pal.
Oh, Mr. Harper.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Mr. Harper.
Yeah.
Is it true there's money in our telephone?
Both our bank accounts are swell, thanks to Alexander Bell.
Do you mean it, Mr. Harper?
Absolutely, Mr. Jones. Oh, Mr. Jones. Oh, Mr. Jones. Why the muttering, the sighs, and all the groans?
Since I started placing calls, money's bursting through the walls. I'm a rich man, Mr. Harper.
What a pity, Mr. Jones.
Oh, Mr. Harper. Oh, Mr. Harper. Are you sure you have sufficient dial tone?
I have 3 now in the store. I need 47 more.
That is 50, Mr. Harper.
No, that's nifty, Mr. Jones. Oh, Mr. Jones. Oh, Mr. Jones. I have noticed you're the best of baritones.
I do business with a ring, and that makes me want to sing. You're astounded, Mr. Harper.
No, a tenor, Mr. Jones.
Through the magic of the dial, after giving it a trial, you can see there's no denial, strangers end up friends. You're working alone, but then when you phone, you are partners just like us. And you'll have dollars to discuss, you and your pal.
Shall we dance?
Why, of course. Let's go.
I'm getting dizzy.
You're as glad as kindergartners with a jillion million partners. If you're out of tiger lilies, substitute some daffodillies. Wait for me, Mr. Dillon. Mr. Dillon. Mares he dotes and lambs he divey, send a friend some poison ivy.
Through the magic of the dial, after giving it a trial, you can see there's no denial, strangers end up friends. I didn't know him,
He didn't know me.
but we're perfect partners now. And we are here to tell you how me and my pal.
Well, I heard Flora Belle left town, but I thought it was only a rumor. Where'd she go?
Hollywood.
Oh, her aunt lives there.
Her aunt. I doubt that you'll be seeing much of her aunt. But, well, you know what Hollywood's like.
No.
Oh, I could just see her now, living in Hollywood, dazzled by the glamour of movie land, and men flinging themselves at her feet. Oh, I can just see her now. Oh, no.
Well, Tommy, I suppose it's what you deserve for hanging up on her.
Hanging up on her? Are you kidding? It was just a mistake. Look, I called her from a telephone booth, and I was right in the middle of telling her how much I loved her when I moved over to get in a more comfortable position. How did I know I was leaning on the hook? And now she claims I hung up on her.
Do you know what you ought to do?
Yeah, shoot myself.
No, it's really very simple. Send her flowers.
Send her flowers?
Sure.
She won't open my letters. Why would she open flowers?
Tommy, since history began, no woman yet has refused to open a box of flowers.
Do you really think it would work?
Well, I'm sure of it. Why don't you send her an orchid?
Well, okay, but I can't spend more than $5.
Oh. Would you care to make that 6? For $6, I could send her flowers that would melt her heart. Guaranteed.
All right.
Good. I'll telephone them right away.
Telephone? Good grief, I'm not made of money.
Tommy, the telephone is the fastest and least expensive way to send flowers. Well, they're just the thing to bring Florabelle back. And come to think of it, they even go with her name. Flowers by telephone, Florabelle.
Florabelle. Yeah.
She has eyes like bluebells, lips like tulips, skin like the petal of a rose, and goodness knows I love her, I do. When her fingers twine like Boston ivy, weave in the tangle in my hair, I do declare I'll ever be true. Every word she speaks is one carnation, each praise a bouquet. Do you think it takes refrigeration to make her stay? She has teeth like snowdrops, hands like willows, kisses like honeysuckle wine. She's just so fine. I really don't know what to do. Those eyes like bluebells, lips like tulips, you know what they spell. All together, Florabelle.
Now, I'll tell you something about her.
She has eyes like bluebells, lips like tulips, skin like the petal of a rose, and goodness knows
even loves you.
I love her, I do. When her fingers twine like Boston ivy, weave in a tangle in my hair, I do
She knows that
declare
she's the one.
I'll ever be true. Every word she speaks is one carnation, each phrase a bouquet. Do you think it takes refrigeration to make her stay? She has teeth like snowdrops, hands like willows, kisses like honeysuckle wine. She's just so
She
fine.
even loves you.
I really don't know what to do. Those eyes like bluebells, lips like tulips, you know what they spell. All together,
Do you really think she loves me?
I'm sure of it.
In that case, make it $10. And Marilyn, it's got to be by telephone.
Oh, Tommy, I love you.
Well, folks, that's the way it goes. Even old Dan Cupid uses the telephone when he wants results. When it's all been said and done today, one golden thought will shine. When you use your telephone, there's cash on your line. You'll see from the facts and figures, when the story's completely told, that your telephone line's a rainbow. At each end, there's a pot of gold. Just look at the things it does, my friends, and you'll agree with me that something wonderful happens when you telephone, yes, sirree.
It puts cash on your line. Beautiful, beautiful cash. Cash on your line the livelong day. You'll be feeling so fine. Getting that beautiful cash. Flowers by telephone's the way.
Now look at the streamers you can get for your customers to see. We phone flowers anywhere, and the streamers are all for free. They're made for every occasion. They'll open up hidden trails. Such a nice way to say best wishes. There's one that'll bring you sales. Though Mother's Day and Easter time might take care of themselves, Use these streamers the rest of the time to empty all your shelves.
It puts cash on your line. Beautiful, beautiful cash. Cash on your line the livelong day. You'll be feeling so fine. Getting that beautiful cash. Flowers by telephone's the way.
Don't forget those yellow pages. It pays to advertise. They're bound to call, yes, one and all, when your name's before their eyes. Those mellow yellow pages are America's favorite guide. How much you'll sell when you use them well is classified. And don't forget local service. That's your lifeline, yes, indeed. As your business grows and up it goes, be sure you have what you need.
For it puts cash on your line. Beautiful, beautiful cash. Cash on your line the livelong day. You'll be feeling so fine. Getting that beautiful cash. Flowers by telephone's the way.
Marvel! Tommy! Oh, Tommy, the flowers are beautiful.
Through the magic of the dial, after giving it a trial, you can see there's no denial, strangers and a friend. We didn't know you, you didn't know us, but we're perfect partners now. The telephone has shown us how for making money with cash.